This little triumph of appliance engineering is a Beko 5kg WM5100W. Hey there, it's Boots Owen here. I found this little thing on the street. I'm going to throw some rags in it. Well, they're in it already. I'm going to put it on to rinse. I've got it plumbed in. We'll see if it works at all. Let's go. Power on. I've got a ready light. Rinse. Oh dear, no, that's flashing. Doesn't like that. I don't know why it wouldn't. It says it's ready for a wash. Yeah, okay. I don't know what was happening there. We had a bit of a flashing light thing going. Just a rinse. Rags are in it. Wash, start, pause. Water's on. There we go. So I just want to see if it works. Found it on the street, right near my house, about 5 houses away. Just left out. I was going for a walk and I was back home again 2 minutes later to pick up the trolley and walked it home, and now you're watching a video about it. I'm not sure what's wrong with it. If we zoom in down here, it's rusty under here. All under the door is rusty. The motor sounds a bit clicky there. The brushes might be down to the end. It might pop the fuse board. I don't want it to because it's getting for night time now. Could be a fault on the element. We won't know about that on this wash because it's a rinse. There's no heating. It's taken on quite a bit of water there. It's up on the door glass now. That's good. These are some filthy rags from the workshop as usual. Nothing better to test with. Yeah, I found it on the street. It does sound quite awful in there, really. I checked the filter. There'll be a video about that if there hasn't been already. It was fine, clean. It had some water in it. So I have no real idea why this was left out, other than I can hear the motor. I've checked the bearings, but they're not atrocious. They shouldn't stop it. Like, it obviously doesn't stop it working, so I don't know what's going on there. I've just noticed a comment from Andy Reynolds on another video I put up today, but as you're watching this could be weeks in the future. Andy put up a comment about how he'd partsed out a machine or scrapped out a machine because there was no way to give it away and it was an old machine and whatnot, but I presume it was working fine. And he commented on the modern world. And I think it's just a reflection that there may be nothing wrong with these machines, but the fact that they're left on the street, what's wrong with them is the people don't want them. And as long as that persists, they'll be on the street, and only scrap men and fools who make videos for YouTube will take them away. There was a thing in the news again in the UK recently about right to repair. That's kind of the colloquial term for it, but it's a concept that some electronic and electrical devices will need to be repairable and parts will need to be available. My experience is that for most things, especially washing machines, parts are available. The issue I have sometimes is I'm working on a G-Tech vacuum cleaner battery at the moment that's stopped charging and stopped working. It's a tiny trace wrong on the circuit board. You can't get a new circuit board within the battery. You can get a new battery. That'll cost you, I don't know, 50 quid or something. You can get a second-hand battery for 12 quid on eBay. I don't need a battery, I've got spares. I just want to fix this one because it's looking at me. It's got 6 lithium-ion cells in it and a tiny control board. One little trace on the control board circuitry is broken. Now I can't get that control board, so I have to scrap 6 batteries for that. This machine sounds particularly tinny here. So what's the point of it all? Well, you can bring in laws, but the companies will always find a way to do what they have to do and make money. So if you can get parts for a 10-year-old machine, but the parts are still really expensive, as expensive as they would be now. If you're talking about a sealed drum where you can't get at the bearings, it makes no difference that you can still buy a drum. If it costs more than a new machine, and genuinely, you know, if a drum for a machine costs 200 quid, you can buy another machine, maybe not the same quality, but you can buy a machine cheaper than that one drum tub combination. So then thinking about what's going on indoors, well, my Bosch WFF1800 that I use to wash nappies in, the door seal's gone all wrinkly on it again, and baby wipes, cloth baby wipes are getting caught in the filter again, and I've probably going to post videos about that too. But I've bought a new bearing seal and it's our new drum door seal, rubber seal, and it's arrived. So I've put that door seal in. But I thought, well, if I'm going to do that, I might as well do the bearings on it, because I've had that machine about 8 years now. And after 8 years, the bearings have been getting louder and louder, but it still works just fine. I've done the motor brushes, I think, twice, and maybe I've even replaced the motor on it for a dud winding. Definitely done the door seal once on it. This will be the second time. So while I'm in there, I might as well do the bearings and see how hard they are on an old machine. It's a metal drum, metal tub machine with a cast iron spider on the outside on the back instead of the new plastic webbed style of thing. So it should be easy to fix, and I'm hoping it will be. This Beko seems to be working. Sounds fine. Well, moves fine. Sounds like the motor brushes are bad. Now, I would not be able to sell this. There's just no way to do it. I maybe could give it away, but my experience is that once you start trying to give things away, people really don't want them because they suddenly have no value. It's this weird paradox. Whereas if you wanted 50 quid for it, well then they wouldn't pay it because it's not worth 50 quid. But they wouldn't want it if it was free because it wouldn't be worth anything. It's nonsense, really. So I might have spare brushes. I definitely have spare brushes for Bekos from other machines up in the box. So I might be able to tidy that up. But that would be kind of pointless if I'm going to smash it. And I know Beko makes a good smash because washing machine on a trampoline, the original and best trampoline washing machine video, had a Beko. Now I haven't got a trampoline, but I could make another type of video. What do you think? Will it fail? Will it make it till the end of the rinse? It's very loud. So why do people get rid of these things? Vanity, maybe? If you had a machine in your kitchen and it was noisy, I can imagine, you know, if you're spending all your time in your kitchen at the moment, you really don't want to listen to this. And especially if you're working from home and you're trying to do laundry, which is a possibility, then that would be really awkward, trying to listen to a washing machine that's making too much noise while working from home. I'm lucky, I've got my washing machines in a cellar and I've got more than one in case they break, so I can afford to have a broken machine. I've got 3 washing machines plumbed in at the moment because of that fault with the WFF where the rubber door seal's gone all wrinkly and stuff's getting in between it into the drum and ultimately into the filter. Because of that, I've decided not to use it, and I've got the WOK2000, the Bosch top loader, but it's working fine. It's very loud on the spin. I think that's just because it's not on level ground, or it tends to walk away from the level ground I've placed it on. But it's quite bizarre. It's got this mystery fault where if you touch it when it's on, you get a little buzz in your fingers. And for one reason or another, I was watching it like you do when it was pumping out, and I thought, that water, I wonder if it's coming out hot. And so I put my hand under the rinse water, the wash water that's coming out from the drain pipe into the sink. And it was electric. I could feel it buzzing on my fingers. There's the drain cycle kicking in after 9 minutes and a half. Well, probably less than 9 minutes because I've been talking at the start. So it sounds like it's draining out just fine and the water's coming out, and that's good. It's a very loud machine, this. So I don't know if it does one rinse or more. I presume it does one, given that we're 10 minutes in. So we should get a spin out of it now, and we'll see what happens. I think this might be where it all goes wrong. The other thing I've been watching is the silver line here of the drum versus the rubber. It appears to be running okay. It doesn't seem to be a spider issue, and in my experience Bekos don't have spider issues. That tends to be a Bosch thing. And more recently the AEG spider, and also that Essentials spider that went mental. So maybe I just haven't seen it on a Beko, but in my experience this machine, well, from the sound of it, it's going to be a motor issue, noise issue. So I want to make a video about that Bosch WOK machine, top loader with the electricity, or too much electricity. But I don't know how, because it's a top loader. Like, I know you're just watching a washing machine going around and listening to me talk, but if I just point the machine at a top loader, I can't imagine it'd be very interesting, because there's just nothing to see. Maybe I'm not doing it right, or maybe I should jimmy this trigger on the top. Although I think that's silly, because when it's making the most noise is when it's shaking and spinning, and if it's spinning it'll be flinging liquid out in all directions, so it really needs the top on it. Sounds like it's about to spin here. I better stop talking, it's going to get loud, I'd say. That was quite a long spin, being about 10 minutes of a spin cycle. Hoping it's just going to distribute and finish up now. If you look back up here, it's going to be difficult to see, but the light here, it's in a wash light, so it has ready, wash and spin end over here, and I would have thought, well, I'm guessing it'll go to end when it's finished in a minute or two, but it's weird that when it was spinning it didn't go to spin. But then when would it go to spin? Because spin and end, if they're the same light, surely, I don't know, I'm just confusing myself here. It's a very loud machine. I would like to take the motor out and have a look at it. It's gone to wash and spin end now. 2 lights have come on. It's still pumping. I would prefer if it didn't do another rinse, just because I've seen enough. I might turn it off if it starts to. It has a cancel button, which you don't normally see. There we go, spin end. Wonder, is the door going to open or do I have to wait? I'm going to have to wait a minute. The door handle on that reminds me of that washing machine that I sold to a guy, and he broke the door handle and gave the machine back to me. I don't think that was a Beko. I'm wondering if it was a Candy or what. I can't remember. But yeah, I sold the machine to him on the basis that, you know, it was okay. And then, however he did it, I don't know, but he smashed the door handle and decided he didn't want it anymore and just rang me up and said, "You want it back?" And I was like, well, sure, yeah. I know the machine works. I knew it was clean. I think I might have done a dishwasher tablet video with it, and it was filthy inside, but you know, it came up clean in the end. We're waiting to hear a click, and hopefully if we hear a click, the door interlock will release, and I get to show you this rust stain inside the door. Looking at it, I don't know if you can see it, but you should be able to see it on camera. The only failing I can see is that the front panel here, the metal panel, is quite yellow, but the plastic has stayed white. There's the lock, it says ready. Ready lights come on over here. So that's the rust. That's really the only thing I can find wrong with it. It's got a yellow front but white plastic, which is the converse of my Bosches, which have yellow plastic and a white paint job. Somebody should talk to one another at the two companies about what types of plastic they use. The only other thing I can show you that might be interesting, if we move up here, is the nameplate. Somebody might be able to know from that 0927134211 Turkey. Does that mean it's Vestel? But somebody might know from that serial number if it's 2009 or 2011 or 2013 week 42 or week 27. I don't know. Somebody tends to be able to read these things, and if you do know, tell me about it, because I suspect this machine is about 10 years old, but I don't know. It seems to work. A wash cycle will tell me if the element works. We get a bit of heat into it at 40 degrees or something like that. I might do that tomorrow if I get a bit of time. Questions or comments? Leave them below. Thanks for watching. See you later.